fantastic, isn't it?
Yep.
Fantastic new single from Radiohead there. It's called, what's it called again? It's called... There, from Hail to the Thief, the new album, which is not out for a while yet, is it, Tom?
Oh, it's actually pretty soon. It's a couple of weeks, I think.
But people have already been nicking off the internet, and, you know,
Yeah.
I've been dubbing off copies and
Have you,
flogging them.
thanks?
No, I tried to, but I couldn't. They gave me a copy, and I thought I'd store it on my iPod. The level of security on this CD, you can't... Not only could I not crack in, police turned up at my door when I tried to do so.
They have your name.
It's very nice of you to come on. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You also performed on the talk show for me this week.
Yeah.
And I've got to congratulate you on the version they did, Fake Plastic Trees.
It's great,
with
yeah,
the
I
band.
saw it last
What a tremendous... And that, I would imagine, quite a difficult song to sing live.
It is on TV like that, because it's normally we do it like at the end of a show when everything's just gone haywire for 2 hours, and it's a sort of quite a good one to wind down
And
with.
presumably you're warmed up as well, your voice and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite a tough one to do that.
But it sounded great. I have sung it on many occasions.
Have you?
Well, when my wife was learning guitar, and she still is, she learned that one, and I had to do the lyrics for her. So I'd just like you to take home that image of me sitting there with the lyric sheet, and I was trying to get that high note you do.
In the lounge?
Oh, well, it was tough, especially after a cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Probably actually easier after a cigar.
But it was great singing it. We've got a friend called Phil who's a guitar teacher at school.
All right.
And the way he teaches guitar, and I don't know how you learn guitar, but the way he teaches, he gets kids to say to him, this is a track I love, and he breaks it down for them so they can learn it.
Yeah.
And he said he probably gets more requests for My Iron Lung.
Oh, really?
than any, yeah, My Iron Lung. When kids hit that gloomy teenage phase, they come in and go, I want to learn My Iron Lung.
I'm still there, man.
And he goes off and he has to come back with it. But that's a nice, I would have thought quite a nice feeling knowing that kids out there are still responding
I know,
to
it was peculiar. We used to get really uptight about the, you know, because they make those music books on how to learn the chords and stuff, and then the chords got so messy and complicated, and because they pay professionals to sit down and try and work it out, and they get it wrong every time.
Of course.
Johnny used to get really upset, and now we don't care.
But I guess they break it down in an easier way. That's why they don't do it in the way you play it
kind of. Yeah, but I mean, there's whole sections where, like on Kid A, where I mean, I didn't give them the words even, so they're even having to make up the words, and it just doesn't relate at all.
Now, well, why do people do that? Because when I was a kid, I used to love albums with the lyric sheets. Okay, and then you get albums without, and you think, okay, why are people not doing that? What's going through your head when you decide not to give out the lyrics?
Oh, I was just cheesed off with lazy journos.
And so you wanted them to have to do the work to
Yeah, which of course they didn't, but that was kind of not my problem.
And then they're going to get it wrong, and is that not infuriating?
Yeah, well, that's why I learnt my lesson.
So on Hail to the Thief, we're going to have there'll be lyrics in there.
Yeah, it's all in there, actually.
How long on average does it take you to write a song? Is there such a thing as an average period? You and Johnny sit down, how long does it take?
It could take anything from 10 minutes to 2 years.
And does it take longer now that you've been together for a while, or does it become easier?
It can take longer because, like, because the things mutate a lot. You know what I mean? They start with something utterly unrecognisable from where we end up, and that's the stuff I like the most. But also, it's a relief sometimes just to bash something out.
Yeah.
Because then you're not aware of it. You get to the end and go, how did that happen? You know?
It's quite an interesting time for music because there's a lot of. I mean, you guys are still doing work, which I think is you're still clearly trying to stretch yourself in some ways, and you're doing stuff which is challenging and stimulating. And there seems to be a real move at the moment, though, towards kind of retro style in rock. You know, people going back and doing stuff for the spirit of '78. You know, you've got the Strokes.
Yeah.
The Yeahs, Electric Six, these kind of bands out there. But there must be a certain joy, and the White Stripes even to an extent, who do stuff which is quite straightforward and quite simple. Are you tempted to do that kind of thing, just to go in and knock an album off in like a week? Would you?
Well, I mean, the point about that is that what you have is you've got people that sort of are able to sort of set up and play together and create a sound in a live situation. And I mean, I should imagine with the White Stripes, that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is what they're good at, and so the best way to put that down on tape is just to do it in the traditional style, because that's where
you're essentially capturing the band at its best by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, which is cool, and but the trouble is that we aren't interested in just doing that. I mean, because there's just a lot for us. There's a lot more. We're a lot more out there, and we're much more schizo, and we don't have the attention span to do that sort of thing, really. We barely have it for over the one track to see something like that through. We've always got to trust something else, sort of thing.
But there is a distinct sound, though. There's a distinct Radiohead sound. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sum it up.
Yeah, but I think that's... I hope so, but I never really know. I think that happens despite ourselves. And we work from the premises as there's 5 of us and Nigel, and we got limits to how far we can go. So that's what the sound is.
Do you always work... This is Nigel Godrich.
Yeah.
the producer.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like a playboy when I meet him.
Really? Yeah. Now, let's not get down.
But
Let's
the rest
not go
of
down
you
there.
look-
You should ring him up.
But the rest of you are kind of earthy, and you kind
looks
of
like a playboy.
He looked a bit. You know what he looked like? Euro trash. He had that kind of look about him, you know. And I thought, oh, I don't know if he fits in.
We're all secretly playboys.
You've got yachts and everything going on, and leggy blondes. They're like,
Hollywood
what's
to do
your?
the record. We're so desperate for the glamour.
Yeah.
Couldn't really find much, unfortunately.
How long have you been together now as a band?
Oh,
Since school days, isn't
16,
it?
yeah. So
Okay, and you're what, early 30s now?
34, I think.
Okay, so that's
18 years.
a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Have there been periods, and I'm amazed that, you know, you're still together, it's still the same group, isn't it? You've always been, it's always been that five, hasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah, we did have some sax players at one point.
But they weren't proper, you don't count brass as proper band members, do you? We don't do it. It's like when you have a violinist in, you know,
It was
they
a good
know
idea
no
at the time. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's great for a tour, but they know that, they know the score. Back to the old jazz orchestra afterwards. But have there been times when you've rowed, when there's been a danger of you falling out? Have there been periods where you've been tugging in different directions, or has it always been kind of all of you pulling in the same way?
No, there's periods where when things have sort of got out of control, like end of OK Computer and at the end of Pablo Honey, where things get out of control and you find yourself in situations where you didn't want to get into, like touring or just in a situation you feel uncomfortable with. You have a series of those. People start shutting down, not talking to each other, and things just get a bit heavy and blah blah blah, and it takes a long time to recover from that. You know what I mean? Because you lose your trust in why on earth you decided to do this. So what we try and do now is preempt that, not get ourselves into those situations. You know what I mean?
Well, so communication is the key then.
I guess so. Yeah.
So it's just like a wedding, a relationship, a marriage, really.
Horribly like that.
Yeah. You don't. You're not all. You don't all
What?
together on the road. You know. You have ladies with you.
You're the one with the pink shirt, mate, not me.
You're married, aren't you?
No.
And you have a baby.
Yeah.
Well, you should get married. What's wrong with you?
Well, you know.
Come on, let's get this fella back in wedlock. Come on, let's lead the way here.
I've been with my lady for a very long time.
I didn't know you. I only read that this morning because I don't know that much about you. I've always liked your music and never read that many interviews. I know you don't give that many interviews, but you have a little boy called Noah. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
How lovely. How old is he now?
He's 2 months and 2 months. 2 years 4 months.
2 years 4
years,
months.
4 months,
Okay, that's a lovely age.
It is pretty good actually.
So he's walking around. He's talking.
Telling you what to do. Yeah.
Okay, and will you have any more? Do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's quite nice having one, I guess.
Yeah.
There's always you don't know whether to go and have more after that. I mean, I've had 3 babies so far.
Right.
My wife was an only child, and she loved that experience. I know that, but I come from a big family, so I sought to emulate that. What do you think he's going to be when he grows up? What sort of talents does he show at this early age?
He's a pretty good painter.
Well, we're not going to hold you to this, because I know he's only 2.5. We're not going to complain if he doesn't.
He's a pretty good painter, and we do this drum machine thing, where he sits on my shoulders and I start a rhythm and he follows it, and then I keep going.
Like a human beatbox?
Yeah, that's us. We walk around town like that.
Has he inspired any of the songs? I mean, has being a father made you want to write about that experience?
Well, this is all very personal.
No, I'm just curious. Well, you don't have to answer.
It's fine, no.
Because Liam Gallagher was inspired by his son to write a song.
Yes,
I know
well,
I'm not comparing the others, but you know.
Well, yeah, there's Sail to the Moon.
But it's a big
very much
change.
like that.
Which was the song?
Sail to the Moon. I mean, I'm denied about whether to sort of say, oh yeah, that is, but it is. It was written sort of actually before he turned up as well, and I was just sort of in the midst of the first dad terrors.
Yeah, you get all that panic in the middle of the night.
Horrors, yeah.
I can't believe they let us take him home for the hospital on our own. Now, what do you listen to at the moment? What kind of bands do you like right now? Are there any contemporary bands, current bands?
I'm not listening to many bands. There's some friends of ours in Manchester who run a record shop, and they sent me some stuff on this Berlin label. And this is a guy called Mode Selector on Beat Pitch Control, which is all pretty obscure. But and then Black Keys are pretty cool.
Do you like Can?
Yes, oh yeah.
I've recently rediscovered Can. I think I might inflict that on the listeners of the show.
You can sort of just keep cycling your rediscovery. Have you got Future Days now?
I do have Future Days.
One.
That's a great album.
Yeah.
You want to get the Can back on.
Yeah.
Were you a Roxy Music fan?
Absolutely.
The other day I was watching TV and I knew you were coming on today, and there was an advert came on. I can't remember what it's for, and there was a riff, and I thought I recognise that. It's from Amazona. from the Stranded.
guitar riff.
Wow,
That's when I see it.
That's a great. That was Phil Manzanera at his best, I feel.
Absolutely, and the drumming as well.
So let's play that now. Let's enjoy this. We're going to take us back to when we were all young. Some of us more than others.
Yeah, and then Tom's going to play live after that.
Of course, I forgot you're playing live. Well, should we do that first?
No, we'll do this now, and then Tom can play after that.
This is all very well organised.
Roxy music, though, you cannot beat that period Roxy music, I think. Excellent, even though the Eno stuff is, speaks for itself. Tom's going to play for us live now. This is Thom Yorke from Radiohead, of course. Tom, what are you going to play for us?
I'm actually going to do that song "Sail to the Moon."
So, wonderful! That's so nice. So we've kind of set it up inadvertently.
Yeah,
and we're going to.
What do you mean? It's all scripted.
Did you plan on doing this before you came in, or have you just changed your mind?
Oh, yeah, I was going to do this.
So you can do, but could you? If I were to say you do something else now, not that I want you to, could you? They're all stored upstairs in your head, or do you practice in advance?
Well, there might be a limit.
Yeah. But most of the
Iron
stuff
Lung
that
might
you've
be a
written,
bit of a struggle.
Iron Lung's a cracker, though, isn't it? If you need a hand with that, by the way, my guitarist guy, the teacher, he can give you the breakdown of the chords again. He's not here, but he's a lovely bloke, Phil. All right, well, let's take it away then. Shall I give you an introduction for this, or are you ready to go?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. What sort of introduction had you in mind? We're running out of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the BBC studio here in the heart of throbbing London, I now welcome you, one of the most famous miserablest of modern rock music, who has recently decided to cheer himself up somewhat. He's playing now a beautiful song that was inspired by the birth of his first child, Noah.
That's enough, isn't it?
Thom Yorke.
Thank you.
That was rubbish. That sounded fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Wow. What were you looking at the watch at the end for? You
Well, you got
at the
30
wall.
seconds,
Yeah, he's looking at the clock. Well, he's not going to stretch out the solo at the end there. Just keep going up and up the piano. Would it be? Ding, 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 ding. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. It sounded great, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. And I was just watching you play. That's so nice to be able to play like that. It must be.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I know you don't need it, but good luck with the album. Good luck
Cheers,
with life in general. Good luck with fatherhood. Good luck with the dress sense. You've come in.
Can't talk.
Well, you're dressed like a hobbit today.
Yeah, well.
And good luck with your producer. I think, frankly, you're probably going to need it. 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC.